A lot of first home buyers ask me, is it possible to even get into the Sydney market these days? That's the topic of this video. Now, the truth is, it's much harder for first home buyers to get into the Sydney market now than what it was even 10 years ago. But that's not to say it can't be done, because there's people buying their first homes every single day. It may feel like it's difficult, but maybe it just impacts the way in which you need to look at property. And the problem I have is a lot of people come to me to buy their first home and they pick a price point of, say, $1 million or $800,000. Now, that might get you a nice place in a nice area that you would want to live in. And of course, you might think that's what you want to buy. But the truth is, you don't want that property any more than you want a lower value, cheaper property in a cheaper area. And the reason I say that is because most first home buyers come to us when they're single or they're in a couple in the early stage of their relationship, and we know what's likely to happen in the future because we ask people, and people often want to get married. They want to start a family, or they want to upgrade to a better place. And so the truth is that $800,000 or $1 million property isn't the place you actually want to end up in. It's just where you want to start from. And if you're not going to end up there, then it doesn't really matter if you take a step backwards and start at somewhere that's a cheaper price point than those more expensive ones. And the worst price point you can go for in Sydney is actually $800,000. And that's because first home buyers get a stamp duty concession from $650,000. They pay no stamp duty, but between $650,000 and $800,000 purchase price, you pay about 20% stamp duty for each dollar above $650,000. And so at $800,000, you pay the same stamp duty as someone who's already got a portfolio of properties. And that means you're competing in a different market. So it would be better if you could try and find a suburb that's maybe 1 or 2 train stops further away, or maybe just slightly smaller, so that you can find something that's within that $650,000 price point, not pay any stamp duty, and then maybe you've got enough deposit to cover 5% is only $32,500 and 10% is $65,000, making it much easier to get in and much easier to afford the mortgage that you're going to end up with, rather than trying to drown in debt buying a more expensive property that you're going to want to move out of in 3 to 5 years anyway. So that's it for today. That is possible to get in Sydney as a first home buyer. My name is Max Phelps, and as always, be genuine, have fun, stay curious.